Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Curtlyn Warner Show. I'm the co-host, Mr. Elvis Flanders, and I'm here with a good gentleman that needs no introduction. Multiple Calypso King of St. Maarten. Goes by the name of the mighty Brat.
10 times or 9 times I lost count. Calypso monarch of St. Maarten. His name is Clement Richard. He sings under the sobriquet of Calypso Brat.
And we're going to ask him a few basic questions here. Mr. Brat, good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
What would you think about the current situation on St. Maarten?
Well, St. Maarten is no different to any part of the world right now, and everybody's in a crisis. It's a crisis situation. Okay?
So this is nobody's fault, would you say?
Well, to point a finger, you would say, well, okay, like the international world say it's a Chinese virus, right? But it's no fault of all people now, our government.
Okay, I hear you. What has this pandemic taught you, Mr. Brat?
Well, the pandemic taught me to respect the simple things of life. You know, the simple things, the stuff that we took for granted we realized that is very important. You know, because you never know what's around the corner.
Yes.
And we've been experiencing some very strange situations these times, so people have to sit back, relax, and think about how they're going to move forward.
That leads me to ask you this question, Mr. Brat. How was your experience during the lockdown?
Well, the lockdown for me was very educational. You know, it made me think. I had time to look at myself, my situation, my friends, my family, and sort out the important things.
And reflect.
And reflect on what's going on.
Yes, yes. How would you like to see the last quarter of 2020, Mr. Brat?
Well, the last quarter, first thing I would love to hear is that they have a vaccine that is positive, that is working, and without any funniness in between, that is tested and stuff like that, and that it's available to everybody.
How would you rate government's performance during this period, Mr. Brat?
Well, it's difficult to rate the government performance because let me put it like this. During this situation, give me a number of problems that you had personally. Just give me a few.
Well, a couple of problems that I encountered, I would basically say would be, let's say, on my job, for instance, the salary problems. You know, I believe that government maybe could have done things a little bit different, that we wouldn't be in this situation today. But I must agree with you that this is nobody's fault. This is like walking into a dark room, and just feeling your way around, and So basically, there's just a few problems we have that could be it. I know.
Okay. Every individual has a different set of problems,
yes,
right? And multiply that by 10,000. Then you can have an idea what the government is facing, because they have to face everybody's problem.
Absolutely.
The big guys, the small guys, and in-between guys. And government have to figure out how they're going to be in the middle as to give everybody satisfaction. It's not an easy game, and we have to give credit to those guys that's putting themselves on the line to try and solve the problems. And some are solvable, some are not solvable, but we still put pressure on them to solve them, right? And we first have to identify our priorities, what is solvable, and which ones we're going to solve first, And I think they're fighting hard, and Holland is giving them a very hard time, and I don't like the way Holland is going about things, but they have their opinion too. And I always say, with all what they're saying, they have foreign affairs, they have justice, they have especially justice. If you have justice, and there's injustices going on, mainly corruption stuff, don't be out there throwing it out there, this one is corrupt, that one is corrupt. If you're responsible for justice, you take your matter in hand and deal with it. Because the way they're doing it, they're making it look like all our young officials are corrupt and this and that. No, there's good and there's bad. The bad you're responsible for. The good is going to stay there and do better for the country. That's it.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Brat, for those comments. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure, man. April said to me, too much of in we country, on internet and every new